Welcome to the Car Truth Report. Thank you so much for joining us. The inventors of the carbon fiber racing chassis over at McLaren have just given us a glimpse of their new apex predator, the McLaren Senna. This brand new McLaren is based on the awesome 720S chassis and drivetrain, weighing in at 2,600 pounds, or about the same as the battery pack in the new Tesla Roadster or a stripped out BRZ, and makes 800 dead dinosaur horsepower. No hybrids here. With the most downforce south of the Aston Martin Valkyrie, the McLaren Senna should prove a worthy standard bearer of the Senna name. So stay tuned and be sure to click subscribe to get all the details on McLaren's new Halo car. Let's just start out with the most polarizing aspect of the new McLaren Senna, the looks. Its radically different, downforce-focused design lacks some of the finesse seen in the designs of most of your regular GT supercars. As Shmi said, there isn't a continuous line down the whole length of the car. But when your main focus is downforce, a lot of the traditional design features of your regular exotic supercars have to go out the window. Now let's look at that ginormous rear wing. That funny, literally over-the-top mounting point of the rear wing is called a swan neck. This was a technique that was developed by LMP racers around 2008 to help them get back some of the downforce that they lost when the regulations changed and rear wings had to become smaller. It has to do with the separation of flow, and it is really complicated. Just understand that it makes more downforce when you mount the wing that way. As for the placement of the wing so far from the back of the car, that is likely for two reasons. The first is the aforementioned swan neck mount, and the second is the fact that when you mount the rear wing behind the rear axle, it can actually start to reduce the grip that you have at the front of the car. The reason many race cars can get away with mounting their rear wings so far back is that they don't have an active aero rear wing like the Senna, which would be constantly messing up the balance of downforce between the front and rear tires as it changes angles. Now looking at the front, this new McLaren looks like it has the most capacity for downforce of anything on the market, save the Aston Martin Valkyrie. I'm sure Kyle Drives will do a video explaining all of the awesome aerodynamic tricks that the Senna is employing, and as he has a doctorate in aerodynamics, I will leave the in-depth analysis to him. Now let's try to figure out exactly what kind of car the new Senna is actually going to be, the types of cars that it should be compared to, and what it should not. Determining what a car will actually be should be a simple process, but thanks to manufacturers liking to put R's on everything, this topic has gotten a bit muddied. So let's start out with what the new McLaren will not be. It is not a GT or Grand Touring car like a Lambo, Ferrari, Bugatti, or even a Koenigsegg. GT cars are made for top speed and comfort, and even though we like to compare these cars on racetracks, they are not race cars. Continuing with what the new McLaren is not, it is also not a race car. There are many race cars that you can get from the factory, like the Club Miata, CoPro Camaro, many GT3 and GT4 cars, and even a Pro Mazda. Race cars are not street legal and have no interiors to speak of. What they do have is a roll cage and racing seats specifically for competition instead of comfort. Instead, the McLaren Senna is going to be a very specific type of car, a factory track car. Track cars have two main focuses, low weight and high downforce. Track cars are very similar to race cars in that they usually have little to no interior, though unlike race cars, some track cars are road legal. Not that you would really want to drive most track cars on the street for an extended period of time. A list of comparable factory track cars to the Senna would be something like the Aston Martin Valkyrie, the AMG Project 1, and the new Ford GT. We will be doing a comparison video very soon between this new McLaren Halo car and one of the cars I just listed, so be sure to click subscribe and notify to keep up on all the action. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, these cars cost £500,000, or about $670,000. They are only making 500, and all 500 have already been sold. So if you want one of these new maniac machines, you are going to have to go secondhand and probably pay a bit over sticker, as they just auctioned one off for a staggering £2 million. So what do you think of McLaren's new track smacker? Be sure to let us know in the comments. The first 30 relevant comments from subscribers will be up to win a Shifty t-shirt. See, we have them right here, ready to go. Just to reiterate, if you post one of the first 30 relevant comments on this video, you will have a 1 in 30 chance of winning a Shifty t-shirt. We have all sizes up to 2 extra large, and we are just giddy to get one to you.